It's not good. G'day everybody, Des here for my Aussie Garden and Kitchen Garden Edition, and this is just a quick one because I've had quite a few requests about what's going on with my raspberries and my plums. I've not talked about those for a while, so let's go check them out. It's winter here, and let's see what they're doing in winter. As you can see, buds are forming very nicely on the AOK plum. They are as well on the Japanese one, the Satsuma. The Satsuma is probably a couple of weeks behind this guy here. But yeah, these buds are going to look fantastic, and I think I'm in for some beautiful fruit this season. Now, just looking at the tree, I've already pruned it, but I'm just thinking that this branch here, I think is going to have to go, because I like to keep an open center in the tree, that vase shape that you may hear about. And I'm just looking that I've got 3 branches here. This one looks like the weaker of the 3, but this one's outwards more like this one here. So I might remove this one here, cutting it down there. And then what will happen is, once that's removed, there's a bit more open space inside the tree in there. And this one here will cover this area here with branches and fruit. And obviously this one here as well, hopefully, will help fill in this section a bit as well. So what I've got going here, gee, look at the rubbish around here. I'm so sorry about that. What I've got going is I've got strings pulling on this branch here and this branch here, and it's pulling this branch in this way, and it's pulling this branch in this way. So what I'm trying to do is to try and get some branches to come in this way more and fill in this area just here. These will obviously grow up and out, and hopefully I can get a bit more coverage here in the tree. So I've just put a bit of material where the string is on the bark, because I don't want to girdle or strangle the branches. That there is just where I've twisted the rope over time and put the wood in to tie a knot and to keep tension. And then just here, I like to use spacer boards in my orchard. And what these do is you put these in between branches and force them down a bit to open up the branches, to divide them. So I'm pushing this one out this way a bit more, this one out this way a bit more. And I've got another board back here that's pushing from a steel picket post there against the branch here, pushing the branch this way, because I just want to have this branch here coming a bit forward this way like it is now. So over time, that's going to grow and it's going to set in that spot. If I had one tip to give about plums, it would be, do not prune them in winter. It's the same as cherries, actually, because they're part of the same family. I think they're part of the rose family, actually. But anyway, with cherries and plums, since we're talking about plums, you don't prune them in winter because they're really susceptible to diseases, especially silver leaf. I've actually lost a Satsuma plum in my orchard to silver leaf, and I'm pretty sure I was winter pruning back in those days because I didn't know better. So of course somebody is going to ask, when would you prune your plums or your cherries? And you would do that in summer. I've had a lot of people asking me for an update on the raspberries, especially because a lot of people will be familiar with how successful I've been with growing raspberries here. Well, as you can see, there's not much happening. But it's the last month of winter here in Australia, so what I've done is I've come to this bed here where I normally have all my raspberry canes, well, some of them anyway. And what I've done is I've cut them all to the ground. I've added fresh soil, some fresh compost, and then what's going to happen is come spring, all the new shoots will come up from all the roots, from all the plants that have actually gone dormant over winter. And then I'll have a brand new batch of beautiful raspberry plants growing in this bed. Because these raspberries are going to fruit in the second year on these canes, I won't be getting fruit off them. I might get some around Christmas, but normally I'm going to have to wait until next year, on my second year, for all these canes to fruit for me. I could have selectively gone through the canes and picked out the ones that did and didn't need cutting to the ground, but I really wanted this to have a fresh start, so I've just gone in and just wiped it all out. There's actually some old fruit there that the birds haven't found, which is pretty funny. That won't last. As you can see, this bed here has fallen apart, so I need to repair it. So in the meantime, I've just let it go. And this is actually raspberries from my alfresco, from my entertaining area. I've brought them over for now, and I want them out in this area just for now. and I'm probably going to transplant them into this bed here once I get it repaired. This is my third raised garden bed of raspberries if you haven't seen it before. And yep, it is full of stinging nettle, but that's fine. That's actually happening on purpose. What I'm doing is, while these raspberry canes have gone dormant and need to be cut off at the ground, stinging nettle grows in this bed all the time. And this stuff is magic as fertilizer. It is so good. It's it's not good. I'm just going to give it a stir just to help it mix up and break down more. Wow, it's bad. So with gloves, I'll be going in here, harvesting all the stinging nettle, putting it into a bucket of water, leaving that for a couple of weeks, and that is going to be the most full-on fertilizer you could use in your garden. It is so full of nitrogen and other goodies. So yeah, that is meant to look like that. It's not neglected. And that's the story I'm sticking to. Check out the lean on that. I definitely need to get that fixed. I'll have to have my son come out because I cannot possibly lift that by myself. The Santa Rosa plum is doing quite well. Now, I gave this a harsh cut back last summer. I mean harsh. I really want to keep the shape and the size. So what I've done is I've cut off a lot of the branches, which has sacrificed a lot of fruit from this season, the season coming. That's fine. I really needed to get control of this tree again, and that's what I've done. I may even come here in spring and give it just a bit of a snip here and there, removing some of these new shoots. Look at little mama. I love this girl. This is her sanctuary. She lives in here by herself. And look, there's not a single piece of grass or weed in this place. I just let all the foliage go to the ground and she digs and plays with it, as you can see. Such a good girl. Thank you, little mama. Oh, there you go. She just got a weed then. Thanks, little mama. As you can see, the orchard looks terrible. But hey, that's winter for you. It's all doing what it's supposed to. Pretty much everything's dropped its leaves. I've been doing a lot of pruning. That's why there's a lot of sticks and wood on the ground. As you can see, there's a few mulchy type scraps that I throw around on the ground for little mama to dig into and play with, and that just decays back into the ground. As you can see, I'm not the perfect gardener. I've never claimed to be, and I'm not the tidiest either. But hopefully the 30 plus years that I've been growing food, there are some things that I've learned that I can share with you. And I do hope that people out there do benefit from what I do know. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind checking out this video on the screen as well. And hopefully I'll see you in the next cooking or gardening video. Bye for now.